Let's welcome on Kendall Gammon, former Chiefs player, of course, our analyst here on KCMO Talk Radio. It's brought to you by Xfinity, the next generation 10G network, only from Xfinity. The future starts now. Well, Kendall, where do you want to start? A win's a win, but still there's plenty to talk about from yesterday.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Yeah, we could start a lot of different places. We always talk about wide receivers. I think Rashee Rice and what he did should be noted because he continues to ascend. I love the way he gets north and south the minute he gets the ball in his hands, and he's a threat. And I think he's taken some pressure off of some of the other guys, and so it's good to see him. I mean, right now, what is it? He has 68 catches, so he's going to pass Dwayne Bowe, who has the most all-time for a rookie at 70 for the franchise. So he's doing some good things.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I like your optimism to start off the wide receiver conversation. However, there's another side of that coin, of course. Kadarius Toney, that one really sticks out, the interception right off his hands late in the game. And here's the thing that stood out to me, Kendall. Patrick Mahomes, once again, with a reaction on the sidelines that we have not seen from him in recent seasons. The frustration is clear. Do you think he's doing that for a reason, knowing the cameras are on him?
No, I don't. I think he's just frustrated. And I think he knows the cameras are always on him. I think he just kind of does what he does. And eventually, emotions bubble up when things aren't going real well, or something that continues to repeat itself. And I mean, if you went back this year and looked at how many tipped balls were interceptions, it's pretty significant. And so you understand the frustration. And we go back to it, though. I know I'm a broken record, which Tony's in that room and he can make some plays, and nothing's going to change to a degree in terms of him being gone, I don't think. Andy kind of a little bit defended him at the end, says he's young. I don't know if I buy that completely, but I get it, which is, these are the cards you're dealt, and you're going to have to deal with them and have them go, so you don't want to destroy that psyche. But, it's an issue. I mean, it is what it is. Without trying to, to climb all over him, he's got issues catching the ball, and for whatever reason, it's reared its head this year.
Mm-hmm. No, it has, clearly. Now, do you think when it comes to Tony in particular, I mean, what would you do with him? There was talk last night. Do you sit him? I mean, it just isn't working out. He can't catch the ball in a big spot. What do you do with him?
It's a tough one because when he does have the ball in his hands, he moves well, he runs well. That's one thing they liked when they brought him in was having the ball in his hands in space. And so, they may just have to, simplify things even more to a degree. I say this, not simplify, but, bolts passes and shorter passes, which I know that one wasn't the longest one, but get the ball into his hands in places where if he drops it, unless he just covered really, really well, it's not a threat of that. But I think that's easier said than done. I don't know. I mean, I think you just continue to feature Rice, and I don't know that anybody else has really stepped up to a degree. I guess maybe no, I really don't see it. I mean, you have what you have. We did see Hilaire getting the ball more out of the backfield, which I thought was interesting. But I go back to this. This is what they have, and so they've got to try to continue to figure out a way that he can get the ball in his hands in a positive manner. But I don't know. I don't think you cut him. Do you consider sending him down? Maybe. But the other side of it, and Andy's always the optimist, which is we can change this guy and get him going. But I don't know. The sample size is pretty big, and we know what we're getting.
Yeah, we do. You saw the other interception was intended for Blake Bell. You saw Sky Moore hasn't done anything. I mean, it's amazing. That just hasn't worked out. And even, listen, no one's ever going to rag on Travis Kelce at all. I mean, the guy's one of the best to ever do it. But I don't know if you saw it on that near touchdown over the middle, Kendall. That was the first time I saw Kelce kind of back off a play where it looked like he was about to get popped. And it's just little things like that where I'm wondering, he's 34. He's old for that position. Is he kind of that mindset where suddenly he thinks he's older, and he backed off that play? It was pretty obvious. Kendall, what'd you think of that?
I don't think he's afraid of contact, and where he may have instinctively something happened, and I understand what you're saying, but in general, no, I don't think he thinks of himself as old, and I think when he gets out there, he may talk about it tongue in cheek off the field, but I think when he gets on the field, he goes after it. He's a competitor. Now, we have seen this year that he probably doesn't run with the ball after the catch as well as he used to, but he's still a threat, and he's still doing some good things. And that's probably the first time I've ever seen him, maybe short arm or come off of it a little bit. And I'm not going to hold that against him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's making, as they say, business decisions and deciding to hold back with some things. Sometimes just instinctively things happen, but he's still our number one weapon when it comes down to it. And of course, that's what you said beforehand. I get it. And it warrants us talking about these things. And just because we talk about them and say we see some things doesn't mean it's an affront on the person themselves, because everybody's human. And sometimes even when you think you're not worried about it, something just happens. And that being said, he's still who we have to go to.
Yeah, he is. So this Christmas Day game coming up a week from today. Noon, Christmas Day, people are opening up gifts with the kids. They're not thinking about going out to Arrowhead. I know the NFL wants to own every open spot of TV real estate, but you like this in the NFL, or you're like, come on, guys, really, Christmas Day, we got to do this?
No, I don't have a problem with it because, there's been days where Christmas is on Sunday during my career, and everybody's playing, so it's just kind of how it goes. But, yeah, you've heard my old adage, which I think you enjoy, which is the NFL, their motto is, I don't want the world, I just want your half. That's why we see so many international games. That's why we're going to continue to see more international games, because that's the way to grow the game, to grow the sport, and grow revenue. And I don't fault them for that. I think a lot of people will like it. Noon game, you got plenty of time to open up the presents and everything. The only people that are maybe being inconvenienced are the players themselves. And I will say, having been in the locker room for 15 years, you honestly don't think about it, because you have no control over it, and it's just how the game works, and you understand that. So whether it's Thanksgiving, whether it's Christmas, New Year's Day, whatever it is, you just understand that you play when they're set there, and you understand why, really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, we will be getting set for that game, of course, later in the week. Looking forward to that with Kendall Gammon. Always great to have you on, my friend. We'll talk to you soon.
Sounds good. Take care, Pete.
All right, Kendall Gammon. Great to have him on KCMO.